15 rugby does have more than the 7 players in the back line. Of course, the 8 ahead, and at the very forefront are the props. And we don't know much about them, but today it so happens we have the privilege of talking to a treble winner like he likes to remind very many people who doubt his his capabilities. Derious, Alema, Ruhweza. How are you doing?
I can't complain.
Happy New Year, man.
Life is good. Happy New Year.
It's a mouthful of a name you have here. How sure we shall keep up with this name going into these tough times with the economy and everything?
They call me Didi.
Didi. I think for the sake of this interview, we shall stick to Didi.
All right.
So, Didi, rugby at Pirates. I do. Well, this interview is all about rugby and what you're doing in the Ghana rugby scene, but what we know most about Didi and rugby is Pirates, because whenever we are looking at a team sheet coming out of the Pirate circle, number 1 or 3 titled always has to be Alema, has to be Didi. So before there was Pirates, where did Didi make rugby from? Or were you born a rugby player and then you just skipped to Pirates straight out?
I wasn't born a rugby player. I was a chubby kid. Yes, I was a chubby kid.
You say was like you're no longer a big boy.
I've been through very many phases. This is just one of them. Come later on, you'll see another phase. In regards to discovering rugby, I discovered rugby in St. Mary's College, Chisubi, commonly known as SMAC. Being a chubby kid, it wasn't an option. It wasn't an option the day I walked into my house, that was Lodell. There was a man who we used to call General Magzi. He was like, you're a rugby player. It wasn't a question, it was a statement, and that's what it was. You are a rugby player. So next thing, all the chubby guys, all the guys who had mass were lined up on the pitch and were taught rugby. So I learned my rugby from Chisubi, and my coach was called Nixon. Then also Mr. Ronald Mutebi taught me the basics. I think my rugby in regards to developing actually really developed when I was in Namiliango. I had the privilege of being in both rugby schools, which I can call the rugby giants back then. The only 2 schools that were worth knowing in regards to rugby then. So in Namiliango, that's when my rugby truly developed. The then coach was Fred Mudola, and he was a very serious man. On my first day, he told me to do 100 press-ups. I thought the man was joking. I do 50, my arms give up. Then he's like, if you can't do my 100, get off my pitch. It's as simple as that. Luckily, the then captain was Chimono, and also his assistant coach was this Cubs player, the big, he has retired now. Wadia, yes. His assistant coach was Wadia, and Wadia really helped me. He's the one who pushed me to make those 100. And that's how I stayed. My rugby really developed from Namiliango. So before Pirates, SMAC, Namiliango. Then I also played for the Warriors. It was, by then they were the Mutoni Warriors. It was my first rugby club that I joined. I was cited by Chumro Rauben. He's the one who saw I have talent. So he was like, he brought me to the Exco then, introduced me to Herbert Wafula, who was the coach. He was like, Herbert, this man can prop. So Herbert was a guy who, he was an awesome coach.
In other words, you've had the privilege of training under Mudola and also under Wafula. How has that impacted you into becoming the person that you are? Because I do believe you are with a Pirates team that won the Uganda Cup against Hiddens, then that swept the league, almost going unbeaten until that funny 3-0 game against Rhino.
Yeah.
And of course very impressive results in the past time. So how has should I say, developing under Wafula and Mudola impacted the game you're playing right now?
Okay, I'll first start with Mudola, because as a prop, yeah, I can say he's the one who shaped me. As a prop, I'm going to mention all the coaches that have really helped me as a prop. There's Mudola, there's Makalama. Makalama, the first time I trained, my first training session at Pirates, Makalama was just passing by. Just passing by. And I can tell you, it was a very brutal training session. They called for a scrum down. Then after calling for the scrum down, they got, if you know Wava Muno, the pirate, they got him and told him to start walking on top of the scrum down. You're not supposed to collapse, he's not supposed to go through. First training session, Pirates. Makes one want to quit, but to answer your question, how have the coaches, especially when it comes to Herbert and Fred, they've taught me perseverance. Because like the story that I've just mentioned, day one, 100 press-ups. They show you that, you know what, if they make you persevere, they show you the one who wants it more is the one who will get it. So that's from those two. That's what I've gotten from them. Then from Baba, Makalama, technique. Technique. I believe that's what he added onto me. That's pre the Pirates era.
And of course now Robert made you a champion.
Robert made me a champion, but prior Robert, there was Coach K. Coach Chinene, sorry. Tony was the coach that brought me to Pirates. He so happened to also be the UCU coach, and that's the university that I was in. And Tony was a very interesting coach. He saw, yes, I had talent. My first training session in UCU, he put me on the first team just to play me one game. A few unfortunate events occurred and I didn't perform. Then for 3/4 of the season, bench. Tony, and he's one of my favorite coaches because he was a coach player. He was a coach player. He would tell you we're going for a drill and we would go for that drill. You're running how many kilometers? You're there with Tony. He would run by you and he's like, I'm an old man. I can't be running at the same pace as you. Tony was something else, and he's the one who brought me to Pirates. He was honest with me. Like I said, I stayed in Warriors. Warriors is a good team. But if you have big aspirations in regards to your rugby career, you need a switch. And it's like Pirates at the moment is the best fit for you. And that's how I actually ended up in Pirates.
You ideally walked into the first team of Pirates.
How I wish. Tony believed in experience. He believed in experience. When I joined Pirates, yes, I survived sailors. So I joined Pirates. But I stayed off the bench. That starting props then, there was Ochan Fred and Mike. I forgot. Mulindwa Mike, yeah. Those were the starting, Mulindwa Frank, sorry. Those were the starting props of Pirates. Yeah, and honestly, I think I was better than Fred. Mulindwa was a solid guy, but Fred had experience. He had been in the Super League. By then there were 8 teams. He had tested. And to be honest, experience counts for a lot. There's a lot of talent out there, but there's a reason as to why they'll draw out the people with experience. Because these games test character. And if you have the experience, yeah, you'll manage.
So what has kept you at the top of your game?
One, should I say, initially, I wanted to be the best. I joined the Super League when I was not as chubby. I was really relatively small for a prop. And it was hard. My first season was really a hard season. But I wanted to be the best at what I do. For whatever moment of time, I wanted to be the best. And that's initially what drove me a lot. Then when I reached, and I put in quotes, where one would call me the best at my then number, there was, I have to stay there. Then two, there are people counting on me. So knowing that there are people counting on you and also wanting to stay there, that, I'll call it, that drive, stroke fear, kept me there, kept me doing what I need to do. Frankly speaking, now I think I'm in the afternoon of my rugby career. There are a few checks that I have to do, then I can call it a day.
Does any of these checks include a national team appearance? Because you do realize we've had the momentum of having Sumani, then there's Santos on the bench. You have Chimboa and probably Adnan. So where do you see yourself? If you're thinking of national team, where do you see yourself rank amongst the four that I've just mentioned?
Are we talking about right now?
Well, how soon do you see you're saying you're in the afternoon of your career? So.
Okay. As of right now, I will rank them. I will not place myself amongst those ranks. I believe at the moment, the best prop that we have is Asuman. There's no debate about that. He's powerful. He has the experience. Then closely behind him is Santos. Santos is a guy, I'll be honest, when I was at the peak, like when I was at the best of, I'll say Didi, Santos is not someone I would put up there. But over the years, he has developed and he has become quite the machine. Quite the machine. Adnan, I think the issue with Adnan is consistency. He's a great player, but consistency, I think that's where I also fall in regards to consistency. I've put myself in. I've put myself in. Then who else did you mention?
Chimboa.
Chimboa. I've played with and against Chimboa. We studied together in UCU. He's a decent prop. He's a good prop. PJ. Oh. The firm franchise. PJ, I'll be honest, PJ is a great prop. He's a great prop. I recognize that because, like I said, when I just joined the league, I was a small guy. I can mention there were the props that would give me hard time. One was BOD, Brian Odong. First the experience, then there were the dark arts he would apply. He was number one on the list. I was so sad when he retired, before he could return the favor. I don't know, there are rumors that he's coming back, if true, but he's coming back as a center, so I'm told, not as a prop. But yes, there was BOD, then there was Asuman. The power that Asuman had was a big problem in those days. You just look and hope for the best. Marshall was also a force. And after those were like the main guys. After that, you would have PJ would come in. That's why he's moved to Paris. I really wanted it.
You were the happiest person about it.
I was, because every time we would play in peace, oh my God, clash after clash. I'm telling you, whatever the score, you would be entertained by just the two of us clashing. So, in fact, if I'm to re-rank, Suma, Santos, PJ,
Chimboa.
You
said no.
I've said no. Chimboa, I just don't know.
Okay, that's actually very interesting about the way you rank the props in the country. So I would love to know, is PJ like your favorite player at Pirates? Is he like your favorite teammate? please don't say desire.
Non-desire. Brothers, we're brothers, but brothers fight a lot. So, especially when both of us are, But in regards to my favorite player, I'll first start. PJ joined of recent. He hasn't been in the trenches. He came when life was good. There are those players who have come from the trenches. I joined Pirates, I think, around the same time. Our current captain, joined. That's Nathan Wambale. We have been through a lot together. We've been through a lot. That season that you're calling, the treble season, for us, that was our hardest season. Nathan was our hooker. End of story. But whatever game, that man played 80 minutes. The two props, Owen Babiha, Ruhweza Alema. Then we brought Gutaka, Herbert, out of retirement to try and help, yet he's a flanker. That way, I've been through a lot with that boy. And yeah, in regards to my favorite, yeah, both because we are friends both on and off pitch. We have similar interests. So in regards to who my favorite player is, of course, there's Nathan, then the Fem franchise. That is PJ.
That is PJ. Now this is as we try to summarize this.
Okay.
You do remember that very good game at Kings Park against the Warriors. That line break.
That line break. Oh, I remember it very, very well.
We need to see more of that, Didi. The line breaking Didi, the center Didi.
There is this Saturday in peace. Sam has already set the club up, saying we're on Christmas gigs. Santa is still bringing presents.
Oh, that's a nice one. Then between you and your brother, Desire, who is the better dancer?
Desire is a queen dancer. Desire is the better dancer. One, he has the endurance, the technique. We're almost at par. But when it comes to the endurance, he got more of that chiga.
Then the last one. This one, I know many people are wondering if it ever happened. There was that very, very good video which was trending everywhere. Did you finally get someone to use you? Because you were calling out for, I think you had one very nice things and you were looking for a way of spending and having a good time with your friends. Did you get someone to use you? You were crying out for use me, baby.
Use me, baby. Oh, Kampala babes, they don't play. I was used. I'm over.
Well, it's quite sad that you're over, and also it is sad that this interview is over. But thank you very much, Didi, for sparing your time and sharing with us how you're going to endure the journey of the prop that you become today, going against BOD, then coming up also in brotherhood with PJ, also having to go against Chumkam. It's been a long journey for you. We can actually get into that. And the last one. What should you expect from Pirates this season? Because last season wasn't something to write home about.
Last season, there was a lot going on. But Pirates this season, I believe rugby is run by the team that wants it more. And as Pirates, we want it. So I think we're going to take it.
I'll definitely hold you to that promise, and I'm going to wish you and Pirates well in this season.
Thank you very much, and also thank you for having me.